Call to order the Berlin Township Special Meeting for March 23rd, 2026. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please call roll.
Trustee Rail?
Yes.
Trustee Bullard?
Here.
Trustee Sutton?
Yes.
Thank you. And that will bring us now to the date, time, place certain here of the BZC case 25-005 and the corresponding but separate application for BZC 26-001. I hereby call the meeting to order, and without objection, we will proceed with a brief presentation by the applicant, followed by any questions from the board. At that time, we do open it up for public testimony. Those in favor of will be taken first. Those opposed will be taken after. And then any final concluding remarks or questions from the board will proceed. Any objections? So ordered. Okay, let's begin the presentation. And please state your name for the record and speak loudly into the microphone, which is there.
Thank you. My name is Anthony Moore with Ferris Planning and Design in Hilliard. With me is Todd Ferris of Ferris Planning and Design and Kevin Kirshner of Henry Horn Engineering. We're representing Delfontaine, property owner and developer of Beachville Crossing. This has a evolution of plan from the top left. There is the original plan that was submitted with preliminary. There was 138 units. The plan that was approved during the preliminary plan, there up top right, was 77 units. And we've taken that preliminary plan and modified it, made it where we can to accommodate site needs and development needs, and currently sit at a 76 unit development. Density, our acreage is 48.6. Maximum allowed density is 1.85 net acres. Our net acres are 44.13. Total dwelling units, 76 single family lots. Our gross density is 1.65 and our net density is 1.82, which is below the 1.85 allowed. Our open space requirements for that 48.6 acres is 9.72 acres, which is 20%. Our total space provided, open space, is 19.62, and that breaks down for the open space areas of 13.6 and the pond space, which is an additional 6.26. The open space provided, excluding ponds, is 13.36 acres. Our original entry into the development was in the middle of the development there at 3710 Pyatt Road. Part of this plan, we have relocated the entry to the north lot. There it provides better site distance, better access, better engineering, and it prevents us from splitting the existing neighborhood into two pieces with our entry drive. Subsequently, that 3710 Pyatt Road would revert in zoning back to its original FR1 and be part of the adjacent properties again. The site features, we've upgraded the entry landscape with landscape fencing, evergreen trees, deciduous trees, to create a sense of an arrival, and to also screen this entry drive from the adjacent properties, both north and south. We have been working with the property owner there at the south of our entry to give him a better access off our road for his driveway, and a future access easement roughly 150 feet north of that entrance to his back property. We also have been working with him to get him sewer to his back corner. We are showing future connection to the temple at the end of our entry landscape. Our central landscape connects the western lots to our eastern lots through the center block there with pathway, trees, and landscape fence. Landscape fencing delineates between the lots and the open space there where we have a playground, and separating or creating a buffer between the this development, the playground, and the adjacent properties is a landscape mounted landscape. At the south point along Peach Blow Road, the site features a off-street mail kiosk with a covered roof and parking, a sidewalk connection from our development to Peach Blow Road, where there's also a multi-use path that runs along Peach Blow Road, delineated and separated for safety from the road with a fence. The emergency access there has indicated bollards to keep vehicles from passing through. There is one of the things that we've been continually working on. We discussed this at our with the planning commission. Was code requires a 6-foot mound and screening between our development and the railroad. Also between us is a gas line easement where the gas company has 2 lines. Since our previous meeting, we have located those lines on the site, represented in 2 blue lines there. We are indicating with that red dash line there, 10-foot distance between their easternmost line to where we would want to limit our mounding and our landscaping. This allows us to get our 6-foot most of the way through there. Code requires when we're not able to do the 6-foot mound that we have landscaping and fencing. So indicated on the colored portion there is fencing where we fall short on the 6-foot mounding to accommodate and comply with code. Everything planted along this property line is evergreen trees for year-round screening. And we are working with the gas company to make this, to finalize this idea, worst case scenario. Their response up to now is that they're happy to work with us and excited to service this neighborhood and help us to accommodate for each of the lots. We are providing a sewer line along our eastern property line so that we can serve all of the existing homes along Pyatt Road, on the west side of Pyatt Road. We are asking for 3 divergences. Each of these are to accommodate a larger percentage of side-facing garages. Major points there is the driveway allowed within 2 feet of the property line, 5-foot setback where side-loaded garages are, and a minimum of 17-foot 6 inches building separation, so that we have a greater possibility of getting, or greater ratio of side-loaded garages available for the home. And with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Thank you. Let's go through and start with Trustee Sutton. Did you have questions or anything that you'd like to have clarified further?
The recreational sports area, what are you thinking of putting in there? Or how
Mostly,
large is that area?
it rather than just throwing seed down and growing it up, foresee nice fine grading, make sure there's no lumps, holes, anything that you can twist an ankle on or hurt a knee on while playing the field. Make sure it drains real well so that it's adequate for people to be out there playing sports. Basically, we just want a safe field.
Is that an acre of land there, or?
It's probably, I'm making assumptions. I don't know the actual dimensions off the top of my head, but I think it's close to about 3/4 of an acre.
Were you aware that there was a commitment from you all in the preliminary approval of a pickleball court there?
I remember reading that.
You remember reading it? So what changed?
Honestly,
You don't know?
I don't have,
That's okay.
I don't have a good answer for that.
That's a good, honest answer.
If pickleball is appropriate for this area, then I don't think that's
Well,
a big
the real root of that conversation was actually looking at something that was active for youth sports. So whether it was pickleball or tennis or a basketball court or something like that, there was to be a commitment to making that more of a active recreational space than a passive recreational space. So in that way, if you want to keep it a field that's very pristinely maintained, maybe cricket, baseball, soccer, some definitive thing that will be an amenity provided for this community was what the intention was for that zoning area. So I'd like to see a commitment of some sort to some kind of active recreational, could be soccer goals, could be built out of some kind of activity.
I am sure that is not an issue. I would step out on a limb and say that the property owner may be partial to soccer goals, but I would confirm with him.
Yeah, I'm Todd Ferris. I'd be concerned with pickleball that far away from the rest of the people and just knowing that it's probably needs to be closer to a parking spot for pickleball, whereas soccer, I can see that for the youth.
Yeah, and that came up before because this isn't intended to be an area of recreation for the community, though. It's intended to be an area of recreation for the property owners and the HOA who will maintain it. So in that way, the use of parking was irrelevant because it's for the kids in that neighborhood specifically. But that said, because Peachblood Crossing was nearby, it's very likely that there will be a number of kids playing in this area. And so something like basketball or tennis or pickleball in a contained fenced area would prevent the ball from potentially going onto the street and things like that. And that would be a concern of mine for soccer in the area. Love soccer, would love to see more fields. It's a very, important thing. But if you do soccer, it needs to come with the safety parameters of what they're going to do to prevent it from going into the street on Peachblood Road.
Right, and I agree with that. I think pretty much anything that's decided to go in there needs to be aware of safety parameters.
Yeah, and that's why I thought there was fencing in that specific area too.
There is intended to be the landscape fencing along the Peace Flow Road
and the railroad.
We've got earthen mounting and landscape screening between the railroad and the field.
So you don't have fencing there for anticipated?
We have not indicated fencing at this point.
I'm sorry, you asked a simple question and I made it very complex.
That's fine.
Go for it.
I didn't have any other questions.
Okay, Trustee Bullard.
I don't have many comments at all. The two ponds on the right-hand side, those are gonna go to the manor ditch to the north. that correct?
Yes.
How about the two on the left side? How are those going to, are they gonna drain the same way?
Same thing, yes.
So you're gonna go from one, water basin to the other one, just move it and put it all end up in the manor ditch?
Yes.
Okay.
Kevin Kirshner, Kenny Horn. We've had multiple conversations with Delaware County Soil and Water and Kurt up in the engineer's office about this drainage area. The left-hand side of the plan naturally drains through these yards here. There's an old tile that comes through here and then goes across the church property. It's not functioning very well right now. So we suggested we take all the water over to this culvert here, and they were on board with that. They felt that was the right thing to do to try to help these properties in the corner and some of their drainage issues.
And the reason for asking is there's, for the houses that are on the left side there's a lot of flooding. Used to be a tremendous amount of flooding. And, if that's going that way, that will help, I think, help the situation overall.
It won't fix it on their property, but it'll help reduce some of the area that's maybe draining that direction. It all goes out in Creek, so the county was okay with.
And we did a ditch petition to drain that area several years ago, when that was done, it helped a lot. But, and this area still drains that way right now. But what you're doing is you're actually taking a bunch of water away from it, putting it in the other ditch.
That's right.
They both end up in the McNamara ditch when it's all said and done. And you've got a proposed connection to the temple there. Is that a proposed, or is that a pretty sure it's gonna happen?
That's proposed to the property line. It's up to the temple whether they want to extend it.
Have you spoken to any of them?
The client goes there, so they were persnickety about the one to the north. There were issues, but I understand there's a hierarchy, and so whatever. We're gonna get it to the property line, and if they wanna take it.
What I was, reason for asking is there's a lot of trails in the area, and they eventually get to the high school and to the middle school, on the east side of Pyatt Road, and this I would expect to kind of be able to connect that way. If that connects to the temple, then you probably walk out the driveway and pick up the trails that are in the development to the north corner there.
Right.
Or to the southwest corner of Pyatt and, or Cheshire. So they should be able to get in there. That'll help a lot. That's all I have.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna be the lengthy one then. Let's start with the trail, the 5-footer. What material will be that 5-footer that goes to the property line at the temple?
Concrete, since it's 5 feet. Yes.
Concrete since it's 5 feet. Is there also opportunity, because on the main entry, will there be a sidewalk corresponding to that entry?
Two of them, one on each side.
One on each side?
One on each side, and, we actually do show
Yeah.
a bit of a multi-use trail, parallel to the, High Road.
So like the vision would be, to your point, Trustee Bowler, you can go from the high school and we have the paths secured for most of that development all the way down, but we get to that Pyatt Road area and we don't want to do eminent domain across the fronts. So the vision was that you would go on a multi-use path and potentially go up into this neighborhood and connect in and through to get to the other side of Peach Blow, to get to Peach Blow Road from where you're at, right? So that was the trajectory that was initially discussed, and we can still do that, which is great. But one of the other mechanisms was creating a path, multi-use path along the railroad, which there's reasons to not do it because of safety, but there's also precedence for that being done in orange when they can't do the pathway to the front on the road. Did you guys take into consideration any of that discussion from our prior?
Honestly, I don't remember reading that discussion in the meeting notes, and it's not in the original development text, so it's kind of the first time I've been hearing that discussion exists.
So there was, it ended up being that there wouldn't be commitment to asphalt trail through that pathway because there has to be an easement anyway. So there's a natural 10-foot easement that you could take through the property. But it was compacted, super compacted. Aggregate trail. Yeah, you didn't remember that from the first meeting, the preliminary?
I was not involved in the preliminary design.
So this would take, what I'm saying is, this would take a lot, because that area has a lot of folks walking on Hyatt Road right now. And they're walking across Howard Farms or their respective areas. So this takes them through the front of people's properties on sidewalks, and that's okay with me. I just want to acknowledge that the natural pathway of the primary multi-use path in Berlin along Hyatt Road that connects us to 4 or 5 different schools right now will take folks through this neighborhood. And so it's going to be pretty busy as a result, I think. Is that
definitely gets the wheels turning on how that would work. And honestly, it's first we've
considered that one? Yeah, and
so
we've been building it out.
I don't know how that would change the development at this time now, but that's definitely something that we need to weigh and consider.
Yeah. Okay, so for this proposed right-of-way path in front of the Street A, that is out of the road right-of-way, correct?
Yes.
So you're securing and I think I didn't see this explicit in the text, but I saw that picture. But you guys are securing basically an easement for a path that's outside of the road right of way at Street A entrance.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. And was that in the text? Because I didn't see it. But when I saw that picture, I thought that's what you were getting at.
I believed it was in text. That may have been glossed over.
Okay.
It's on our property, so we should commit to including that easement.
Yeah, can we do that, Jen? Okay. And then, did you specify the materials of the 5 foot as being concrete in the text too?
I believe so.
Okay, you probably did on that one. I looked specifically for the road right of way, but I didn't look for the material of the 5 footer. The commitment to an active recreational activity in the field. It sounded like you all could commit to that, and that would look like soccer goals or some material activity. We had something like this done at, what was it? Remember Tony Ironman committed to that on the development just south of Peachblow Crossing Elementary School, where it connects. There's like going to be a dedicated space that connects, right? It's like the south boundary of the elementary school. And we did language that was to the effect of builder commits to installing at least one active youth recreational activity in the dedicated recreational space. Is that all okay language?
That was on the Ross property rezoning that.
Yeah, I think I remember
Edge
that.
Group and Dan Griffin.
Were you there for that?
I wasn't
Okay.
here, but I was involved.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find the exact language, but if
That
not,
was in October, November of last year.
Yeah. And you guys can commit to that same
Yes.
concept?
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't limit us. That leaves it broad for us to find it the safest, most appropriate use of the space, right?
That's right. But it also doesn't leave it as just an empty field.
Sure.
And I think that that's all fair and good, and I think that it's a real amenity for you all as you guys are selling this area.
Yeah, I don't disagree with
Yeah.
that at all.
And then, right now, there's only the mounding and landscape, which I assume will probably be something to the effect of 6-foot high trees. I didn't get all into the landscape review of this, but given that we would be changing that space's function a little bit, can we have a commitment to either fencing or some additional security parameters for Peach Blow and the railroad in that specific area?
We
You get what I'm
have
saying?
Beach Blow.
You haven't already committed on Peach Blow,
Yeah.
And the property next to us, the residential, so we would have to add it for the railroad.
Could you?
Yeah, and we have a path in there with benches already, I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, the space looks good for that.
Is
that
One next to Betsy Moffitt's, down the street.
Yeah. So the addition of fencing to Jen and on the railroad border of the recreational field area. Okay. And then talk to me very briefly about this. When you say total site acreage, that was net developable or that was total site? And is all of it developable then? Is there a significant difference in that?
I'm going the wrong way.
This is just for a clarification for
Right,
us.
is that on this one
Right
here?
there, yeah.
And your question again?
Well, we don't do our zoning by total site acreage. We do our zoning by net developable for zone
Oh, yes,
density.
no, that includes
They're the
the
same.
15%, yes.
Got it.
That's the net developable, maximum debt, 1.85 DU net AC is what you're talking about.
Yes, yes. So this is an important feature because a lot of times folks will come in with gross density, and go to that maximum, but it's the net density that we're looking at. And according to my understanding of this, you removed a home, the density has gone down from the preliminarily approved plan.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that that's a good token there. Then the final thing is the entrance. So you're gonna have two entrances, Street A and 3710 Pyatt Road. As a what? What is 3710 Pyatt Road going to be?
It is going to remain the house that it is now. It's going to revert back to what it originally was.
Okay,
It's not going to be used as an entry.
a secondary entry any longer. Okay, I think there was some confusion on that initially, and so so with this area, the homeowner is going to retain it. It's not going to be owned by the builder or used in
I
any.
think the intention is to sell it to a private.
Or whatever, but it's gonna be a home either rented or sold.
It's going to be a home.
So it's not gonna be the case that it's gonna be like bulldozed over and then
No,
maybe
it's-
used as an
it's-
open.
It's going to be exactly what it is right now.
Okay, I thought I understood that, and that's for the application of 26001.
Yes.
Got it.
It's Trustee Rail and all folks, that would be the legal effect of the rezoning it back to legal effect. That's sort of it's being rezoned back to FR1.
Yeah,
So it will not be, it's being removed from this PRD by operation of the rezoning.
yeah,
So it won't be, this outlined in green on the screen will be out of this PRD, won't be able to be counted for, counted against, used in any way consistent with the PRD. It will only have available to it the FR1 uses, permissions, restrictions.
yeah, okay. Yeah, I was just kind of curious, like, what the implications would be for that. So they could do anything ag, though. Like, it could be a community garden or whatever if they wanted it to, because that zoning still is.
If that's compliant with FR1,
Right.
I would have the question and not having that section of your code open right now. If you allow that to be a standalone, like, do you allow a community garden as a principal use?
Right.
Because I would say that probably your main principal use of FR1 is a residence,
Okay.
with various accessory uses, which might be ag, playgrounds, I don't know, swimming
Got it.
pools, stuff like that.
Thank you, that's a great clarification. Okay, and then, the variances, I just want to confirm you guys were okay with the variances that were being, those three?
Wanted to make a comment.
Yeah.
I like the path across the island in the center with all the houses. So you can
Yeah.
go across, that's a real plus. And I'm just gonna ask a question, the roadway, the access road, emergency road, what kind of material are you gonna get out of it? Is it gonna be gravel, is it gonna be blacktop, or what's it gonna be?
I believe it's blacktop.
Okay.
That requires, so you plow it.
Asphalt?
That, along with the other trails that are there, makes a circle that you can go around that lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I foresee a lot of children and their parents walking that to the elementary school, to and from. Not every day, but from time to time, being able to go to school that way. Being able to get to Peachville Road and then across. We gotta figure out how to get to school to get a direct access from the from Peachville Road to the school. But
Yeah.
that would be a good way for people to go to school there.
mhm,
And I can see long walks up to the middle school or the high school. It's not out of the question.
no, I mean, it's happening now already anyway. The only other thing for consideration is, and this really actually isn't the zoning, it's just something to keep in mind is, we had this similar thing with Berlin Farm, when we put in the peanut, we have 500 homes there, and we have Berlin Station Road, and then we have the schools that the kids are going to across the street. And so just thinking through the safety of, if kids wanted to walk to Peachblow Crossing, which is right now at least their home school, is there something, and I don't even know if there is, because this entry that has, I think, is so close to the railroad tracks, I don't know that we could put like a crosswalk there. Is that right?
I would think the county would discourage that.
I think we already kind of went down that road, metaphorically. Is there anything that we could do? I don't think there is. I was hoping we could maybe talk with the county about the safety and because we have a Safe Routes to School grant too. So we could help potentially work towards the safety and the walkability from this community to the designated elementary school. I don't see that changing anytime soon, at elementary school.
My thought or my suggestion would be talk to Chris's office, because they were working on the roundabout there at the intersection now. Typically, they do have pedestrian crossings at the roundabout. That's the safest place to cross.
Yeah, but how do we get from you guys' property to that roundabout that would be at Pyatt and Peachblow, right?
That's where I'm a little blind, because I don't know how far their project extends west, and how much more of an effort would it be to get an easement to extend a path to connect with this project.
Right.
Making some rather large assumptions there. The legs of a roundabout extend quite far. It's quite possible that they're planning on a sidewalk that near meets where our property line is. So I think the potential is good.
Yeah. Would you guys mind also dropping a line, and we will too? I think it would be beneficial for mutual interest to just say that that's on our radar.
Sure.
Excellent. Okay, I didn't have anything else. Okay, formally we'll open up for public comment. Those in favor of? Those opposed? Okay, we'll close public comment period. Did we end up accepting the binder from last time? Because we had the question, Fiscal Officer Kraft, do you know? Because we had the question of which binders we were using.
Yeah, let's say what we did. Hold on a second.
I don't know if we actually formally accepted the binder.
Okay, you did. Alright. Let's see, motion to receive the BZC recommendation on case BZC 25-005, set date time certain, and same for 26-001. No, there's no binders.
I'm sorry, you said no, didn't you?
No.
Okay. Okay, I thought we had that issue a little bit. So, how would you should we do each case one at a time and vote? Or,
As far as your administrative motions to get everything into your record, or the
Yes.
decision itself?
both? Get in the record and make the decision, should we do them as distinct entities?
Because you did move to receive the BZC recommendation. I don't know if that's the same as.
No, it's
receiving
not the same
binder.
as accepting the binder as the exhibit.
Personal preference is you guys. I have set up the proposed resolution for your consideration, doing both of them together.
Okay, then we'll do them both together. This one, yeah, mine didn't have anything either, but I know it's application.
All that had was just the
Yeah, just
application.
because it's a simple revert zoning. All right, move to accept, the binder for Peach Blow Crossing BZC case 25-005 as Exhibit 1, dated February 10th, 2026, and the application for BZC case 26-001 in the binder provided on the same date, and as Exhibit 2, and the PowerPoint presentation submitted by Delfontaine dated March 23rd, 2026 as Exhibit 3. So moved. Moved by the chair, seconded by Trustee Bowler. Discussion. As a point of note for discussion, that those binders included the BZC recommendations and all the meeting minutes that were provided by the BZC, in addition to the material provided by the applicant. Just as a friendly note for discussion.
That's it.
Further discussion, please call roll.
Trustee Bowler,
Yes.
Trustee Sutton,
Yes.
Trustee Rayo.
Yes.
Do we need to do the advertisement or the other stuff?
Can we confirm that the advertisement was made and ensured that it becomes part of the final exhibit? Do you have that?
I do have the advertisement.
I think there's something, isn't there something where we have to have it in the file now? Like, is a recent change, like we have to, it's not enough to confirm it, we have to showcase it was on the website.
That change, I'm sorry to keep my timing is terrible. That change is only captured in the limited home rule provision that was amended. It is not in your general rezoning text amendment.
Got
That just says you have to do it. You have to, if you publish by some way other than the newspaper, then you're doing website and social media. It does not say fiscal officer affidavit or fiscal officer proof. That being said, would have something in your file, but my advice has been that screenshots are perfectly fine as long as they reflect the date in some way.
Since it wasn't
Sorry.
included in what we've already accepted as exhibits, should we accept it as a separate exhibit? We just include it.
You don't need to. I mean, legally, that's something you are obligated to do, whether or not it's an exhibit or not. I don't think of that as technically a true exhibit in my mind.
Yeah.
It's just part of your file.
So, we can just confirm that it occurred and then it's on record.
That's fine.
And we can confirm that this was properly noticed in advance on the website and social media.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, we're ready for, does the applicant have anything else they wish to contribute to the discussion? Okay.
Do we have anything we wanted to add?
No, it's just confirmation of the advertisement is no. So do you want to read the resolution, then I will so move it?
Can I start by workshopping the modifications that we pointed out throughout?
Yes,
'Cause I'm
and
not sure I
applicant,
captured.
please pay attention to make sure this wording is what you want. Okay.
Let me ask a question first to the applicant. I don't believe you've made any changes to this application following the Board of Zoning Committee, the Commission's recommendations, correct?
No.
So everything dated, it's either February 10th or
There was a
February.
modification to the buffer on the railroad. We showed that in that PowerPoint slide.
Was that as part of the Commission's recommendation, or was that independent?
It was part of the recommendation.
We told them that we were gonna have to work on it because the easement was not 100% known on width. So they knew that finalize it between now and just now.
Let me.
But that was modified.
And would that have been in the text or the plan or both?
It probably would have been in the meeting minutes that they suggested it.
Right, but the change itself.
The change itself, we have an exhibit in the PowerPoint.
It's in the PowerPoint now.
So we have a plan in the PowerPoint.
So if I say incorporating vision to the railroad
Easement,
It's actually a gas easement.
gas
easement along the railroad.
along as reflected in the updated documents submitted and dated March 23rd, 2026.
Yes.
Okay, the revision to the gas easement along the railroad as reflected in the updated documents submitted and dated March 23rd, 2026.
Can you say buffer before
Yes.
gas easement?
To the buffer around,
Along.
of course, the revision to the buffer along the gas easement along the railroad as reflected in the updated documents submitted and dated March 23rd, 2026.
That sounds
Great. 2, as committed to by representatives for the applicant. And this was this was the first comment that we made. Access easement shall be reflected on the plat. Is that what it is? 20-foot access easement? Or was it a different easement?
It was the multi-use path easement in the main entry. So,
Adjacent to Pike Road.
yeah, adjacent to Pine Road.
And it probably won't be 20. Would it?
I was reading your slide and I think that might have been a completely different easement.
Yes, I think.
Okay. As committed to by representatives for the applicant, the multi-use path easement adjacent to Pyatt Road,
Road right of way.
adjacent to Pyatt Road right of way,
Yeah.
shall be reflected on the plat for the subdivision.
Yeah. That's right, right?
Final plat for the subdivision. Got it. 3, as committed to by representatives for the applicant, you said the language and I didn't catch it and I couldn't find it in the Norris Cross. A recreational amenity shall be added and included in the reserve open space. I get some of
I
that.
think it's the reserved recreational area, but, I mean, I think the language was,
You said the builder will commit to install one dedicated youth recreation activity
at least
in the open.
At least one.
At least one. He loves recreation, man. Be careful, watch out.
Okay, hold on 1 second, it was Ross, right?
Norris, Ross.
Ross Estates proposed resolution. So it was in this, I believe. It was in what we created for the approval of the resolution, so I think you sent it to me actually at some point.
I thought I was looking at that. Okay.
No? Oh, this one's blank.
And Ross, aka Norris.
It's Norse. Alright, we switched over to these just today, so try it in here.
They thought September, October, November, somewhere in there. Last 25.
I want to say it's November, it's Norse at Evans Farms. The original zoning was Ross property.
Okay. Oh.
I think I found it, but it was pretty general. I have commit to adding 2 recreational uses intended for the area, including but not limited to the potential of a dog park.
That is the language we use, but I like the language we have here today.
I tend to too. Okay.
And it gets you to just one.
Yeah, there you go. So I have as committed to by representatives for the applicant, at least 1 dedicated youth recreational amenity shall be added and installed in the reserved recreational area.
Yeah, perfect.
Last but not least, fencing shall be added on the railroad side boundary of the recreational area.
They have them on the 2 sides. Okay.
Let me accept all changes, email it where it needs to go.
And we're on resolution number 26. Well, we're
You
not
just
actually-
used 92.
We just used that. So yeah, 93. Send it to all of us, trustees. That way, when we're scouring to try to find this resolution in months, we can all look at the same spot.
Fiscal Officer Kraft, I have your email address in here somewhere, but.
Clerk.
Thank you.
Trustees.
Thank you.
No pressure.
Well, your search function never works when you need it to, right? Okay, I will begin reading. Resolution number 26-93, resolution to amend the zoning resolution of Berlin Township, Delaware County, Ohio. Zoning case numbers BZC 25-005 and BZC 26-001. Whereas case number BZC 25-005 is before this Board of Trustees, the Board, upon the application filed by Del Fontaine Ltd., 6660 North High Street, Suite 1E, Worthington, Ohio 43085, for 10 point, that's not right. 10.28 acres, that's not you guys. Nope. Aubrey, it's not right. 48.6 plus or minus?
Yes.
48.6 plus or minus acres consisting of the following property. Parcel numbers 418-340-01-048-002 and 418-310-01-049-000, collectively the property owned by Del Fontaine Ltd. Approved. This application requests to rezone the property from planned residential PRD to a new planned residential district PRD with R 1.85 overlay and requests for divergences. And whereas related case number BZC 26-001 is also before the board upon application filed by Del Fontaine Ltd. For 1.21 plus or minus acres, consisting of the following property: parcel number 418-340-01-032-000, having the address of 3710 Hyatt Road, Lewis Center, Ohio 43035, owned by Del Fontaine Ltd. This application requests to rezone the property from planned residential district PRD/R3 district to the FR1 district. And whereas on December 18, 2025, the Delaware County Regional Planning Commission accepted the staff recommendation of approval of the proposed rezonings, which recommendation was confirmed by written correspondence on January 28, 2026. And whereas following a public hearing duly noticed and conducted on January 13, 2025, case number BZC 20-005 only, and February 24, 2026, both cases, the Berlin Township Zoning Commission recommended approval with certain modifications, including divergences, of case number BZC 25005 and approval of case number BZC 26001. And whereas a public hearing before the Board of Trustees has been duly noticed and conducted on March 23, 2026, for zoning case numbers BZC 25005 and BZC 26001, pursuant to the provisions of the Berlin Township Zoning Resolution and Ohio Revised Code, Section 519.12. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Berlin Township, Delaware County, Ohio, that, Section 1, the Board adopts the recommendation of the Zoning Commission on case number BZC 25-005 of approval with modifications, including requested divergences, and the recommendation of the Zoning Commission on case number BZC 2601 of approval, with the following additional modifications. A, the revision to the buffer along the gas easement along the railroad, as reflected in the updated documents submitted and dated March 23, 2026. B, as committed to by representatives for the applicant, the multi-use path easement adjacent to Pyatt Road right-of-way shall be reflected on the final plat for the subdivision. As C, as committed to by representatives for the applicant, at least one dedicated youth recreational amenity shall be added and installed in the reserved recreational area. D, fencing shall be added on the railroad side boundary of the recreational area. Yeah, okay. Section 2, the board finds and determines all formal actions of this board concerning and relating to the passage of this resolution of the board, and that all deliberations of the board that resulted in formal actions were taken in meetings open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including but not limited to Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22, except as otherwise permitted thereby.
So moved. Moved by the chair, seconded by Trustee Bowler. Discussion. I think these improvements look good, and I'm excited to see how the progress continues and how we can connect this in for safe walkability in the area as well.
Yeah, very, very good presentation. I appreciate it. Good to see Todd and Kevin again, who were with a number of years ago.
Anything? Further discussion? Please call roll.
Trustee Sutton?
Yes?
Trustee Rayo?
Yes.
Trustee Bullard?
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen. And with that, I will now close the hearing for BZC case 25-005 and BZC case 26-001. Without objection, I'd like to jump in our agenda this evening down to health insurance renewal, item number 14. And because we have Amy with us here tonight, Director HR, coordinator. Sorry. All things HR in the Township Hall. And this is not for executive session, right? This is not. Okay. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good day. been waiting, she's gonna be leaving momentarily, so she wanted to give us an update on health insurance first.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll go to Dave.
Okay.
Excellent.
I know, we're paying a lot more for Dave right now. I did, good to see you. Yeah. Okay, so, we are discussing, health insurance renewal. Amy, did you want to give us a quick summary of the great work I hear you've been doing on this?
Sure, I think I'll be putting the packet.
Yeah,
You want to start us off, Aubrey?
I can. So you will recall from last year, we work with Jeff LaCrone. And last year, I think as in previous years, it came down really close to the wire of needing to make a decision. So with having Amy here, she's been able to be more proactive with working with Jeff to try to get us quotes and rates so that it's not the very last possible day that we're calling a special meeting. So I appreciate her work on that.
Right.
But she has worked with Jeff on multiple options. You will remember this exact same sheet from last year where the renewals came in, and if we keep the plan as is, you will recall roughly a 19%. I don't recall if there was any decimal points to that last year. It has come in the same this year. I will let Amy go into the details, but ultimately, me and Jeff's recommendation, and I support it, is sticking with our current plan, which would be the 19.23% renewal.
Yeah, correct. So Jeff went to the other carriers that would quote us, and all three of them declined to quote us due to our higher
Risk category?
yeah. So that left us back with Anthem. And I asked Jeff to, well, what else can Anthem offer us? So that's what this blue sheet is. This is the other three options that Anthem could do for us. But the overall recommendation is to stay in the plan that we have. It's going to be the least difference to our employees. The second plan that you see there, yes, there's hardly any other increase, but it's very detrimental to those that have high pharmaceutical costs.
Mm-hmm.
And the only other one we kind of teetered back on was the last one, which puts us more into a copay type of a plan. However, if you look down at the hospital, the outpatient hospital, that's where the big difference is. They would have that type of a cost. Even if they met the deductible and they had to go to the hospital, it's $1,000. Even if they met the deductible and they had to go to the ER, it's $600. And that's something that the current plan does not do.
Mm-hmm. And I would like to add, even though 19% is high, I mean, compared to some other plans, there are other places that are seeing even higher percentage increases. Mm-hmm. And so I would say it's not certainly by any means the highest that we've heard of. Right. Unfortunately, healthcare costs are high across the board.
And I think Jeff's numbers on here was just ran some numbers right before I came in here, and we, so far this year, it's been $75,000 in income costs. So at current run rate, before the 20%, almost 20% increase, we're looking at $300,000 in expense for the year. Mm-hmm. So we add the 20% onto that, we're looking at, $360,000. Mm-hmm. That's before any new hires that might take insurance and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's a lose-lose situation in a lot of ways, but what is the board's thoughts on reactions to this recommendation and what we have before us? Did you want us to have a resolution passing tonight, or?
If the board wants to take action on it this evening, I don't think there's any downside to that.
No, I have to allow open enrollment period. So at least, as long as I have at least a 2-week open enrollment period, so.
Okay. Is it possible to take action on the 9th only because we didn't specify, this is a special meeting, so I try to keep the special meeting clean from any additional resolutions, if we can help it, but if we can't, we can do it.
You can wait, it's the 13th, I believe, April 13th, which will give you 2 weeks.
No, 2 weeks to do it.
Okay. Okay. But in general, is there anything, we can have some time to reflect on this? Is there anything that you all would like to comment on or ask questions about for Amy or Aubrey to follow up on.
So which one are we recommending? This one?
She's recommending, and the administrator recommends staying with the current plan. This one comes with too high prescription costs, and this one comes with higher outpatient and
What does this less RX mean?
That's prescription benefits, so reduced prescription benefits.
It's just that it's the only one that says less prescriptions.
Oh, it's a lean
Lean.
RX, so it's a lot less coverage on the prescriptions, especially when you get into the specialty tier 4. Like if someone has to take a quarterly injection, that can get really pricey for them. Sometimes they're like $20,000, and they would be having to pay like 50% of it.
Out-of-pocket costs at the
Out-of-pocket.
pharmacy would be high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My work's all similar increases this year, so I'm not surprised.
yeah,
I mean, it's higher than what we saw, but not surprised.
mine was higher than 19%.
So it's this one that we would stay with?
Yes,
It's a current plan that we have.
but as you can see, the main thing here is this 19%
I
plus
understand
increase.
it's an increase in that. And that's the highest one, but
To stay on, to have the same comparable benefits, yeah.
and the prescription is much better with the current plan than
Yeah,
the and any of the others.
right, it'll cap out like one of the specialty tier 4s, it'll cap it out like $400 instead of whatever. Each time you have to have it,
Okay, but going forward, it's not.
I don't think anything that I would have to do in the next couple of weeks would change myself. I just want to confirm, because it says health insurance renewal, it doesn't explicitly say that we are taking action on it tonight. Is that any cause for concern? Since we're in a special meeting? We have an agenda item with health, it says health insurance renewal, but it doesn't explicitly say that we're taking action on it tonight.
It's okay. You
That's
stated,
okay.
sufficiently stated the purpose of the meeting.
Excellent. Okay, we're on resolution 2694, right? We move to recommend the renewal of the current Anthem MIWA plan for Berlin Township in accordance with the 2026 analysis provided by Jeff Lecrone, and at the recommendation of the administrator and HR coordinator, to be effective. When would it be effective? May 1st, 2026.
Second.
Moved by the chair, seconded by trustee Bullard. Discussion.
Thank you for your work on this.
Yeah, great work on researching this and staying on top of it and getting it to a point where this is the smoothest process that we've gone through so far. So, yes, I appreciate it. And send our thanks to Jeff as well. Any further discussion? Please call roll.
Trustee Rail,
Yes.
trustee Bullard,
Yes.
trustee Sutton.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll now return to our agenda as stated therein, and that brings us to personnel appointments.
Yes, so sorry, out of order. We have two for the board's consideration this evening. Get to the appointment packet. Yes, the first one is recommending the appointment of Jacob Collins as Director of Zoning. Jacob has the experience, as you know, we have gone through an extensive search process, and Amy put it back out, and we received Jacob's application. He comes to us from California, although originally he's from Ohio, and we think his skills will fit nicely into the department and be able to grow alongside it.
Excellent. We're at 2695. Move to approve resolution 2695, the appointment of Jacob Collins as Director of Zoning, effective no later than May 11th, 2026.
So,
Moved by the chair, seconded by Trustee Bowler. Discussion.
Was that done in May what?
May 11th, no later than May 11th.
He is relocating, and if we can get him to start sooner, then we will.
Excellent. Good to hear. Further discussion? Please call roll.
Trustee Sutton?
Yes.
Trustee Rail?
Yes.
Trustee Bowler?
yes,
The second resolution before you this evening is a resolution appointing Jackie Buell as the acting cemetery sexton at Evergreen Cemetery. Jackie graciously approached us and has offered to assist with some of the operations of the cemetery and serve as sexton in the interim while we continue to mull over to fill that role and while we search for a roads director.
Okay. Wait. We have a proper resolution, and the effective date is March blank.
Are we allowed to date it March 11th, since the board
Retro
hasn't met
date?
since then?
Retro, is
Yeah.
this an original appointment? This is an appointment,
Yes.
and when's payroll?
Monthly.
So you wouldn't have already made that payroll since?
Correct.
She's not been paid yet.
Yeah.
March 11th.
Thank you. Move to approve resolution 26-96, resolution appointing Jackie Buell as acting cemetery of Evergreen Memorial, effective March 11th, 2026.
second.
Moved by the chair, seconded by Trustee Bowler. Discussion.
This is very good help, and Jackie volunteered to came to, and I'm just pleased as much that she's doing this.
I could not agree more.
I agree as well.
Further discussion? Please call roll.
Trustee Bowler?
Yes,
Trustee Sutton?
Yes.
Trustee Rail?
Yes. Okay, that brings us to, I lost my agenda. There we go. That brings us to, executive session for ORC section 121.22G1, appointment, and G4. And we can do them together? Yes. Okay, move to recess into executive session from regular session pursuant to ORC 121.22G1 to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or appointment of public employee or official. And G4,
Prepare for, conduct budget work.
preparing for conducting or reviewing negotiations, you know it by heart, or bargaining with public employees during compensation of other terms, conditions of their employment. So moved. With the board present, fiscal officer Kraft, Dave Riepenhoff, the administrator, and Paula.
second.
Okay. Moved by the chair, seconded by Trustee Bullard. Discussion, please call roll.
Trustee Rail?
Yes.
Trustee Sutton?
Yes.
Trustee Bowler?
Yes.
Thank you. We are in executive session. Thank you, Amy, for your presentation.
before, Paula? Are you ready for it?
All right, we are live.
At some point.
We're live.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to return to regular session from executive session. So moved.
Second?
Call the roll, please.
Trustee Rayo? Trustee Bullard?
Yes.
Trustee Sutton?
Yes.
Okay, we're back in normal, regular session. From executive session, we had an executive session. No decisions were made and no actions were taken. Next on the agenda is purchase orders dated March 23rd, 2026.
Yes, and actually I have just a little revision here, somewhere in my stack of paperwork. We added two at the bottom.
You just need to do this one?
No, yeah, you can just get rid of that one. It's now that one. We eliminated the one at the top, the blanket for roads. We had, we had money already on a blanket, so we thought we were good there. And we added the blanket for legal fees for zoning, the zoning fund. This is for Grig's office and Jed and things like that. And then the last one is Accent Communications, which is for just general phone service.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution 26 dash, what's the number?
9.
99?
Yep.
26-99, in the matter of approving purchase orders then and now certificates and blankets. So moved.
Second?
These are dated 3/23 of 26. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Trustee Sutton?
Yes.
Trustee Bullard?
Yes. Takes care of those. And next item is economic development legal counsel engagement. We want to do that now?
We can. So Trustee Rail had reached out to Ice Miller about representing the township related to legal counsel with respect to economic development matters, including in particular issues relating to the formation of residential TIF districts and the engagement agreement that they sent back as attached.
Okay, do you have a recommendation?
This is the board's pleasure. This firm is not conflicted out. I just do want to make sure that the board understands the fees that are outlined, and we may go through that 10,000 quickly. So.
Okay, so you're recommending that we go ahead with this? Trying to make sure.
The board, given that the firm is not conflicted out, and there are not a lot of firms that aren't conflicted out on this matter, there aren't a lot of other choices.
Okay, and you've talked to them?
I was part of Trustee Rails. I listened into her meeting with them.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that we're in correct direction here.
I know Ice Miller has a good reputation. I have not worked with them personally.
Okay, so I will make a motion that we approve Ice Miller for our economic development legal counsel engagement for their letter dated March 18th, 2026. And the letter of engagement goes through quite a bit of details. So moved.
Second?
Any comments, questions? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Bullard?
Yes.
Trustee Sutton?
Yes.
Okay. Absent close. Next is discuss date for ODOT presentation.
So we got Berkshire Township Administrator Lane and myself received an email from Deputy Director Turowski from ODOT District 6, and he offered to do a presentation with an update on the projects that they are doing, and I know the board had expressed interest in doing so, and was wondering if potentially the fourth Monday in May, I know we typically reserve that for a special meeting, but if that might work, and then their trustees could come here and attend and listen to ODOT's presentation.
I think that's great, especially if we can get it on Berkshire.
So that would be April 27th?
May 27th or
April.
April, I think so, Monday.
Fourth Monday in April. If I said May, that was my mistake.
Okay. Fourth Monday in April.
I'm gonna be out of town that night.
Does that work for you?
I think I'll be traveling.
Okay.
I'm gonna be out of town that night.
You'll be out of town now?
The one in May may be a little bit tough. I know their trustees may not be available the second Tuesday, so let me go back and figure out some more dates with Tyler and then get back to you all.
Okay, then we'll pick it up at the next meeting in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay? So that stays on the agenda for 2 weeks from now, or for our next meeting. Judge board appointment, I believe that stays on the meeting schedule again.
I do have a person to appoint.
Do we? Do we have anybody to appoint?
Yes, I do.
We do?
His name is Rick Dunlop. He's a longtime resident of the township, and an employee of Delco Water. I think he's a very good appointee to the judge board. He is willing to accept.
Well, then, we should, I don't know, let you make the motion.
Or 101. 26-101.
Yeah. Motion.
I'd make a motion to appoint Rick Dunlop as board number 4 to the Berlin Concord Shawnee Hills Joint Economic Development District, number 1.
Okay. I'll second that. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Sutton?
Yes.
Trustee Bowman?
Yes. Okay, I believe that concludes that one. Next item is hall rental payment process.
We're not ready for that one. What I would just like to say on that one is the payment, the process we use now, where we refund, where we take people $150 deposit, and then we have to turn around and send them back $75, it's a lot of work. For us to issue these paper checks, and would like to see what the appetite is of the board to potentially change that to, whether it's just a flat fee with no refund or go hourly. I don't know. It's just a lot of administrative busy work. Because it requires like 5 financial transactions on our part for every one of those, because of how we have to put it on the books, print the check, put the credit on the books, run that through our system, then, run the check, the refund, and then we turn around and mail out the check.
And a significant number of our checks that we sign are for the refund. The way we got there was to make sure that people that rented the room realized they had the responsibility to make sure the room was clean and taken care of, and not just walk away and forget about it. And that was why that was put on there.
Well, what about?
And I don't know that it's good or bad,
Yeah.
but that's how we got there.
One thing we were considering is, do we have them leave a second check, you know, if the hall rental is $75, they give us one check for $75 and another check for $100, $150 that we hold as deposit. And if there's nothing wrong, we mail that check back to them. Or shred it, they're, you know, whichever they would prefer.
How does that square with our, we don't want money around here?
Wouldn't be cash, be check.
Okay.
And hopefully in the next, you know, I would say next 3 months, we'll have a credit card system and maybe, you know, people could just give that, you know, on credit card. That, you know,
I was just gonna ask how many people are actually writing checks.
a lot,
Are they-
yeah.
Almost everybody.
We do still take cash, which I hate. I don't like to have cash in the office. I mean, that's just a risk. So, but I think once we get to a credit card system, I think that, you know, because some people don't have checks anymore. It's all e-payments or credit cards, right?
And I'm okay with, anything that makes your life easier, number one, and keeps the room, and people taking good care of the room.
Exactly.
You know, so we're all in it for the same thing.
Yep.
So there's no reason to make it difficult, just to make it difficult.
Okay. Well, we didn't know if you guys would be open to considering something new. Like I said, it's, as we kind of look at what we're doing in the one that just, there's a lot of busy work on our end.
Well, and if we could get a 2-check process, or a credit card and a check process, that would work fine. Either one would work fine.
All right, well, I'll go back and noodle on it with Paula, and we'll kind of do some benchmarking here locally and figure it out then, and come back with a proposal. Okay?
It's not done to make life difficult.
I know it's not, and I know it's one of those things that's been there like that a long time, but fresh set of eyes sometimes makes you scratch your head like, why do we do it this way?
Also,
Okay.
are we having more rentals than we were?
Is that,
I don't think so.
Okay.
It feels like less. Yeah.
I was just wondering if previously it wasn't a big deal because there weren't.
I don't know. I think it's always been kind of a pain because we have to, you know, go back and look at the file. Like when I rented the room once before I was at Bo, it took like 4 months to get my check. So, yeah. So.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
And that concludes the agenda, and I will make a motion that we adjourn.
Second?
Call roll, please.
Trustee Bullard?
Yes.
Trustee Sutton?
Yes.
Okay, we are adjourned.